Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And that point, I think, is key and is missing a lot in our everyday discussions, which is why we drive forth towards that on this channel. Now, today we're going to talk about something that I put together in one succinct little video for you guys around how the gun controller's narrative is failing and failing hard, coming from their own statistics. I'm not only going to tie in their newest numbers and release and saying that gun numbers are down across the board, we're also going to tie in all the other things in one succinct little video so you guys can send this out everywhere to prove that what we're talking about day in and day out makes a difference in the positive for Americans everywhere. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I can't wait to hear from you guys on this one. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on because we're having some issues with some viewers about that, so just make sure that subscription is not interrupted. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the giveaway that Vanish Holsters is doing, and then we are going to hit this. Brothers and sisters, I am excited to bring you what I think is the biggest giveaway that I've ever seen on this channel, and it's brought to you by Vanish Holsters. Now, Vanish Holsters is made for the everyday American concealed carry patriot, not the upper echelons of the gun world. We're talking somebody who wants to have a gun, have it be comfortably stored, and safely stored to protect themselves and those that they love. This is the most comfortable holster that you're ever going to wear. This is a 48-inch belt that fits universally to anybody, and it's completely ambidextrous. It has a no-stink material, and it fits up to a 46-inch waist. This is something that you're going to want to check out. Look at this. They are launching the biggest giveaway I have ever had on this channel. They are giving one of you this incredible Jeep Gladiator and $25,000 worth of gold thanks to Vanish. To enter, all you have to do is click the link in the description and get yourself the most comfortable holster you've ever worn, and Vanish is hooking you up. Get $40 off now when you use my link in the description box below. All right, my brothers and sisters, I have been working on this for a while, so please let me know what you guys think of this presentation in the comments field down there. I'm about to walk you through the best way possible that we can show them that their narrative is failing miserably and gun rights and freedom are expanding, all right? So now this is coming off of what we covered last week around the gun violence, is what they would call it. Gun violence, which is not a term, it's an inanimate object. Gun violence is down across the board by around 20%, which is fantastic. And you would think they'd be shouting that from the rooftops, but they're not. They're clamoring for more and more gun control. That's what we talked about last week. Well, what we're about to talk about now is I'm going to show you those exact same numbers and show you what happened in the 1.5 to 2 years prior to these numbers falling off of a cliff. You're going to love every second of this. So let's start off with my number one source of propaganda, the Gun Violence Archive. As you can see right here, 38,859 is what they lump together with gun violence and suicides. They call it gun violence overall, but it's really homicides and suicides, completely disassociated things. Now, as you can see, suicides is still significantly higher than homicides. Both are bad, but the good news is this is around 7,000 less than the prior few years altogether. We have a 20% decline, and we are back at, as I showed you in a prior video, currently right around 2019 levels, so pre-pandemic levels. This is the same frame in the same span of 2016, 17, 18, and 19. We're sitting right there with 1 month left to go in the year. This is working. Well, what's working, Braden? That's where we're getting something a little new, and I tie all this together. So, this is coming back from April in this year. Americans bought almost 60 million guns during the pandemic. Well, that's weird. That's weird. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Because the pandemic was in 2020, and then it kind of carried on into 2021. Well, that would mean that 2020 and 2021, we bought 60 million guns as a nation. It was minority groups. It was female groups. It was non-traditional gun buyers was the big news. We covered it a lot on this channel. Let me know in the comments if you remember all of that, and you've been with us that long. Well, if you're leading into 2020, 2021, and 2022 with dramatically increased gun buying numbers, if you followed the gun controlling narrative from Everytown for Gun Safety, Giffords.org, Moms Demand Action, Shannon Watts, Kathy Giffords. Kathy Giffords? That's an old reference. Gabby Giffords. You would think that those numbers would go through the roof because more guns don't make us more safe, right? All their snarky little comments. Well, the only problem is the numbers are falling off of a cliff with an increase of 60 million. Let's expound a little bit. 1/5 of the U.S. households purchased guns during the pandemic, a national arming that exposed more than 15 million Americans to firearms in the home for the first time, academic studies show. Americans purchased nearly 60 million guns between 2020 and 2022, according to an analysis by the Trace. Now, the Trace is a gun control nonprofit. This is not NSSF. This is not NRA. This is the Trace. Okay, so you're talking about 15 million more households. Oh, I forgot one more important thing about that. Sorry. Yearly gun sales are running at roughly twice the level of 15 to 20 years ago. So, again, you would think that that would cause a massive increase in homicides and suicides, or that's what they would tell you, right? The reason that I'm hitting this with so much sarcasm is because they lie to people on the consistent basis of repeating a lie multiple times to gaslight you into believing more guns equals more gun deaths, when that is obviously not the case. I'm showing it to you right now. This is a massively important presentation because if you can land this in a 3 to 4 minute span, you're talking about really landing something with people who are in the middle who can call them on their BS. Let's continue. Gun ownership hits record high with American voters, the poll finds. Now this is one we covered. This is what the big impetus for this entire thing. A record high number of American voters say they or someone in their household owns a gun, according to a new survey. An NBC News national poll finds the majority, 52% of respondents, say that they or someone in their home owns a firearm. It is the highest number since NBC started asking in 1999. That's a big deal. Just 4 years ago, 46% of Americans said they or someone in their household owned a gun. And a decade ago, in 2013, that number is 42%. In 10 years, you've gone up 10 points. In fact, let me show you this from Statista. 45%, according to their numbers, of owning one or more firearms in a home from 1972 to 2022, 45% has only been reached a total of 3 times, 2 other times in history, and 1 time it passed it, and that was in, I can't remember, 1990, right? In the massive crime spree of the 1990s. You seeing a parallel there? Massive crime spree, 1990s, gun ownership goes through the roof. Massive crime spree in the early 20s, the 2020s, crime goes up through the roof, and then gun sales, and then it goes down. Are you noticing a pattern? And the reason that I'm being so blunt with this is because they cannot argue with this. Their own numbers disprove them. If you're going Star Wars on this one, you could go with Your Thoughts Betray You. Because literally everything that you're telling everyone needs to curtail their gun rights on a congressional level, take more guns from the American people because guns are the problem, is staring you right in the face that your numbers are falling but no gun control has been added. You cannot make this more clear. It is obvious what's going on, and that's why I'm bringing it to you. And hopefully, I tied all that together with a nice big bow so you can send whoever you want, and maybe it brings someone to our side, or just reinforces your points at the next Christmas dinner. Everything will be linked, as I mentioned, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you tomorrow, where we're going to have another week of amazing freedom, passing the Second Amendment on to the next generation. And thank you for your time.